In this video, I'll be showcasing 10 of your guys' unstable exotic weapon ideas. If you guys happen to enjoy this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing and using code WAXOG in the Fortnite item shop. And yeah, let's get straight into the video. Alright, first we have the unstable Yeet Twister AR. This is an exotic version of the Hollow Twister AR, and when you hit an opponent with the unstable Yeet Twister AR, they'll be launched up into the air. Now, this weapon probably a bit gimmicky. Who knows, maybe it'd be good. The original comment did not specify if this would give you fall damage or not. I would assume if this was like actually added to the game, probably not, just an assumption there. But if it did not give fall damage, it probably wouldn't be that good, just because having a weapon that makes your opponent basically fly whenever you hit it, when you're supposed to be landing like multiple consecutive shots in order for it to be good, doesn't really work. You know, it's a fun little gimmick weapon, you know, it'd probably be a fun weapon, but in terms of how useful it'd be, probably not that much, you know. But, you know, maybe that's a good thing considering the Hollow Twister is a bit broken. So maybe it could use getting a little bit of a nerf, you know? So, you know, there's always two sides of every coin. You know, this one, the good side is the Hollow Twister would be in the game and it wouldn't be broken, and the bad side is this weapon would probably suck to abuse in game. Unless it gave fall damage, but knowing Epic, it probably would not give any fall damage. So, you know, an exotic Hollow Twister, or I should say a second exotic Hollow Twister, because we already have the lawless one, but you know what I'm saying. Next, we have the unstable Marksman Mammoth Pistol. This is obviously an exotic version of the Mammoth Pistol, and the unstable Marksman Mammoth Pistol has a very low body shot damage. However, if you hit a headshot with this weapon, it will do 250 damage. This is obviously very similar to the Marksman 6 shooter. However, this is like way better in my opinion. You know, the low body shot damage, you know, is a bit, you know, unfortunate for this weapon. It means you basically have to hit headshots for it to be good, but if you hit a headshot with this thing, it's insane. So I think this weapon would be like really good. I don't know if people prefer it over the normal Mammoth Pistol. I feel like people would probably still take like a gold Mammoth over this, but you know, who cares? This would be fun to have in the game regardless. It would definitely add more skill to the Mammoth Pistol because you would have to get a headshot every time for it to be effective at all, but who knows, maybe this would be like the best weapon in the game and it would take no skill somehow, but I don't think that would be the case. I think this weapon would take a little bit of skill to use correctly, but you know, maybe this is broken, maybe this isn't, who knows. Next, we have the unstable Time Flip Rifle. This is an exotic version of the Flapjack Rifle, and every time you hit an opponent with the unstable Time Flip Rifle, they'll be frozen in time for a brief period of time. A lot of usage on the word time there. A lot of time. This weapon would probably be a bit broken, you know, just basically freezing your opponent in time every time you hit them, especially with a spray weapon, would probably be broken. This weapon would definitely not be in competitive. Could you imagine if they put this weapon in competitive? Basically just freeze your opponent in storm every time you hit them. Just free target, free elim. Definitely not a competitive weapon. Like, this weapon would be busted. Like, there's no question about it. This would be overpowered, you know? But, you know, who knows? Maybe it would be balanced. It doesn't seem like it, but maybe they would like nerf it like the second it came out. Probably what would happen if this weapon was actually added to the game. But, you know, it's just a fun little, you know, exotic weapon, you know, kind of gimmicky. Given how you get unstable weapons, there's not just one of them on the map anymore. You could buy them from NPCs and then get them from the Overlord Spires too, so there would be multiple of these on the map. So I feel like this would be a bit problematic of a weapon. What can you do? Good thing this isn't actually coming to the game, am I right? Next, we have the unstable Stealth Burst SMG. This is an exotic version of the Thunder Burst SMG, and every time you reload the unstable Stealth Burst SMG, you have a chance at becoming invisible for a short period of time. So this weapon I feel like would play like a similar role to like the Frostfire shotgun, where the original weapon itself is good, and that's why this weapon is good. The exotic effect has nothing to do with how good this weapon actually is, because invisibility just is not good in Fortnite. Like, let's be real. Anytime any sort of invisibility item has been good, it's never because it has invisibility. It's always because there's like some second factor. The only one I guess you could argue is the Shogun X Medallion, because that gives you invisibility when you sprint, which makes you harder to hit while sprinting. But that's like the only item like that. Like, every other invisibility item, not very good. Like, for example, we have Core's Medallion in the game right now, which gives you invisibility when you sprint and jump, but that medallion isn't good because it gives you invisibility. That medallion's good because it gives you basically fall damage immunity. So, you know, I don't know how good this would actually be, considering invisibility does not have a very good track record in Fortnite, you know? But outside of it, I think this weapon would still be good because the Thunderburst is good. Granted, you wouldn't have the ability to mod this thing, but maybe it would come like pre-attached with some mods. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Could just be one of those weapons that's like got mods already attached and you can't take them off or anything. Kind of like the heavy impact or the hollow twister, which I technically think is part of that because it has the hollow optic. But whatever. This weapon would probably be good in the same way that the Frostfire is good. Next, we have the unstable Flowberry Mist Grenade Launcher. This is an exotic version of the grenade launcher, and when you fire the unstable Flowberry Mist Grenade Launcher, instead of firing a grenade, it will fire a med mist smoke grenade that would heal the same way a Flowberry would, granting the low gravity effect. So this is probably the most changed out of all the weapons in this video. Obviously, instead of being an offensive weapon, this would be a healing item now, and I don't know how good this would be because no one really uses the med mist smoke grenades in the first place, but the Flowberry effect is definitely nice. Also, when I say that would heal the same way a Flowberry would, that means no white health. This would only heal shields, so you basically get 100 few shields out of this and the low gravity effect after you leave the smoke grenade and are in it still, I guess you could say. But, you know, I don't know how useful this would be. It's not really infinite heals because you still need rockets for it to work, so I don't know. This weapon's a bit of a mixed bag in my opinion. It's basically like holding like a bunch of like med mist smoke grenades in one slot, but they're shields and not white health, so you'd still need to carry white meds. So I don't know. I feel like this weapon would be situational. Like if you pick it up, you know, you might as well throw it on the ground because it's free shields, but you know, you're not like carrying this. You'd rather carry a chug jug or something like that, you know? So this weapon, not very insane in my opinion. The name's definitely a bit of a mouthful. The unstable Flowberry Mist Grenade Launcher. Like that's a bit of a mouthful right there, but you know, whatever. Who cares? You know, it's an interesting, fun idea that just probably wouldn't be that good in practice, you know? So who knows? Who knows how good this would actually be? Next, we have the unstable Accelerant SMG. This is an exotic version of the submachine gun. I know the comment says that's a Surgefire SMG that's supposed to be an exotic of, but I already made an exotic Surgefire SMG in my last unstable exotics video, so we're gonna do the normal SMG for this one. The longer you fire the unstable Accelerant SMG, the faster its fire rate will become. It would also grant you the pepper effect upon being fired. So very similar to the Surgefire SMG actually, because the fire rate does increase with the Surgefire normally, and this would increase fire rate too, although it would have the normal SMG's damage, I believe, is a bit higher than the Surgefire, and it would also give you the pepper effect like the other two Accelerant exotics. And you know, this would actually give us an Accelerant exotic in all three like the main like exotic categories that we have now, because we'd have the Heisted Accelerant Shotgun, the Lawless Accelerant Hollow Twister, and now the unstable Accelerant SMG. You know, definitely a fun little thing this weapon would do. This weapon would probably be a bit broken, you know, having an SMG that just like starts off fast and just keeps getting faster as you fire it, especially with a bit of a higher damage than, you know, other SMGs, considering I believe this SMG actually has one of the higher SMG damages in the game. Could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's true. I think this weapon would probably be really good. I don't think it would be like busted or like broken or overpowered, but it would definitely be like you find this, you're picking it up over every other SMG in the game, even the Veiled Precision, which is a bit crazy because the Veiled Precision is a very powerful SMG. But you know, I think this would definitely be a solid addition to the game. You know, please Fortnite, give us more exotics this season. I know you are adding the unstable Thunderclap DMR, which probably won't be that good because it's a Deadeye DMR exotic, so probably won't be that good. But you know, there's always time to add more. There's still like a month left in the season, something like that. I don't know, something like that. I think it would be fun if they added something like this. Next, we have the unstable Dice Roll Shotgun. This is an interesting one. This is an exotic version of the Ranger Shotgun, and when you hit a headshot with the unstable Dice Roll Shotgun, its damage output will be completely randomized with a minimum of 90 damage and a maximum of 250 damage. So basically, think about it like this. You shoot the shotgun, it's just got normal Ranger shotgun damage if you hit a body shot. However, if you hit a headshot, you have a chance of either doing basically no damage for a headshot, because 90 damage is less than what the Ranger shotgun normally does for the body, or you have a chance of just ending your opponent right there. Completely done, fight's over. No matter how many pellets you hit. I did not put that in there, but even if you hit one pellet, it'll always choose a random amount of damage. Like the damage is not pellet specific. It's just chooses a random number. So this weapon would definitely probably be overpowered, but it wouldn't be like an overpowered weapon that you'd want to carry because it's like a look based overpowered. Like, yeah, you carry it and it could like instantly kill your opponent, but then again, you could carry it and like not even crack their shield, like, you know. So I feel like this weapon would be definitely a high risk, high reward kind of weapon, considering that's kind of what the Ranger Shotgun is already. because, you know, it's got the one shot. So I think that just like takes like the Ranger's gimmick already and just like ticks it up a notch, you know what I'm saying? So I think this would be an interesting weapon. Next, we have the Unstable Disco Shotgun. This is an exotic version of the Havoc Pump shotgun, and when you hit an opponent with the Unstable Disco Shotgun, they have a small chance to be given the Boogie Bomb effect. Very simple gimmick here. Basically, you hit them, have a chance to be boogied, and then you basically get another free shot off of them. So this would definitely be like a solid weapon. I definitely think this is a exotic where the exotic effect would actually be a benefit instead of this being like a little gimmick that it has that doesn't really change how it works. Then again, I don't think we need another exotic pump shotgun in the loot pool right now, so, you know, maybe not. Maybe save this for a different exotic for another time. Who knows? Maybe in like, I don't know, chapter 7, season 3, they come out with like some new kind of exotic category and they're like, I want to make a Boogie Bomb shotgun. Take this idea, you know. Could be fun. But, you know, this is definitely a solid weapon. Probably be really good. I wouldn't imagine it having mythic Havoc Pump shotgun damage. I would definitely imagine having the legendary, so couldn't one-shot headshot, but that wouldn't really matter in this case because you hit them and they boogie bomb, so you basically get the free hit off anyway, so they're already going to be a bit lower. So, you know, could be fun. Could be fun. Next up, we have the Unstable Voltage Bow. This is an exotic version of the mechanical bow, or just bows in general, I guess you could say. And when fired, the Unstable Voltage Bow will create a small field of lightning that will damage players in a chain-like effect. So basically, it's a lightning cloud that when it damages someone, it damages all people near them. This would probably be good in squads, but in solos, probably not. Duos would be alright. Squads, though, is where this weapon would shine. So, you know, I think it would be pretty solid there. But outside of squads, this weapon probably wouldn't be too good. Because, you know, bows in general aren't too good unless their, like, secondary effect is good. Having a secondary effect that's only really useful in one game mode, you know, this weapon would probably be, like, C tier at most, in my personal opinion. If I was ranking these and how useful they'd actually be in-game, this would probably be C tier at most. But, you know, it's fun. So why not? And finally, we have the Unstable Wind Shockwave Hammer. This is an exotic version of the Shockwave Hammer, and while holding the Unstable Wind Shockwave Hammer, you will be granted increased movement speed. This version of the Shockwave Hammer also has 5 charges, so just like the Mythic version. You know, this is basically just the Shockwave Hammer infused with the Wind Boon. So you hold this, faster movement speed. It's really not too much to it. It would just be good because it's a Shockwave Hammer, not because it has the wind effect. Although, probably wouldn't be mad to have it, since you're already holding it out for movement. You know, just having that extra bit of movement speed would not be bad. So, you know, good weapon. Makes it a little bit better, but not too crazy. I would definitely probably take this over the Mythic version, though, just for that little bit of extra movement. Alright, if you guys enjoyed that video, consider leaving the like and subscribing and using code WATSOG in the Fortnite item shop. And yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one. Later.